What is the key to business success? Well, simple. It's your ability to focus and concentrate your limited resources of time, money, and people on those areas of greatest opportunity and superior profitability. It's focus and concentration. You see, there's always too much to do and too little time, as you know. There's always too many opportunities and possibilities and too few resources. The job of the executive is to make choices and to focus and concentrate where superior results are possible. Perhaps the most important word in business success is clarity. Superior executives are very clear about who they are and what they want and the most important things they can do to achieve their most important goals. Clarity is everything. Every business starts off with a core product or service for which there is a market demand or for which one is created. And the business expands from there, like a circle expanding outward. Now, it takes as long as 5 to 7 years for a business to achieve high levels of sales and profitability on average in a core product or service area. The natural tendency is for the business to then begin expanding into what are called market adjacencies. So if you can imagine the core of the business and the next circle out is a market adjacency. These are product or service areas that are similar to what the company is already doing and only requires a single step. If you're producing bread, you produce rolls. If you're producing automobiles, you produce trucks. If you're producing CDs, you produce DVDs as well. These are logical market expansions that expand your product or service offering to your existing market. This is how most businesses start off and begin growing. Now, companies often make the mistake of expanding into areas where they have little knowledge or experience. They have what we call the walk-on-water syndrome. I'm so good in this area, I can be good in other areas as well, which can be fatal. These are not logical extensions of their existing product or service lines where they leap into a whole new business. In too many cases, the business that was profitable with one product or service turns out to be unprofitable in selling other products or services in a new or different area. Now, in times of market contraction or turbulence, you have to go back to your core business. You have to dance with the one what brung you. You have to get back to doing those things and offering those products and services that enabled you to be successful in the first place. You must analyze the core aspects of your business regularly to be sure that you are not deviating into areas where you can lose money and where you cannot succeed against superior competitors. There are several core areas that you must continually evaluate and assess. Number one is, what are your core competencies? What are you good at? Each individual or business starts off with a set of core skills or competencies that enable them to produce a product or service that the market wants, needs, and is willing to pay for. Each employee starts off with core competencies that enable them to make a contribution. Each company starts off with core competencies that enable them to survive and thrive in a competitive business market. The first question you must ask is, what is your company especially good at? What does your company do in an exceptional fashion? What are the special talents and skills and abilities of the people in your company that enable you to produce your products or services in a superior fashion? And remember, whatever got you to where you are today is not enough to get you any further. If you're not continually upgrading your knowledge and skills in your core areas, you're actually falling behind. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Now, here's another question with regard to core capabilities. What are you personally very good at doing? Look upon yourself as a bundle of resources that could do a variety of things. What are your special, unique, individual talents and skills that enable you to do an excellent job and achieve a worthwhile result? Again, you must be continually adding to your skill base and upgrading your existing skills just to stay even in the current market. What additional competencies will you need as a business and as an individual in the future? What are the trends in your industry? What is it that customers will be wanting 1 year from today? And what competencies will you have to develop in order to serve your customers at the highest possible level 1 year from today? The primary job of the leader is to think about the future. And one of the most important thoughts about the future revolves around the core competencies that you will require to lead your field and dominate your market in the years ahead. What are they? Number two, what are your core products or services? What is it that you are known and respected for? What are the products and services for which you have the best reputation? Your core products and services are the ones that you produce in an excellent fashion and are the easiest for you to sell. Your core products and services are also the most profitable and generate the highest level of customer satisfaction. They also represent 80% of your profits and your possibilities for growth in the future. What are those core products? Number three is, who are your core customers? Who are the 20% of your customers who buy 80% of your products and services? Who are the customers who are the easiest to satisfy with the special competitive advantages and from whom you get the highest level of resales and referrals? If your company burned to the ground today and you had to start over, who are the customers that you would contact immediately? And what are the products and services that you would immediately begin to offer to keep those customers? These are really important questions. What are your core marketing methods? In its simplest terms, your major activity in business is buying customers. You go into the marketplace and you use every conceivable marketing device, including all forms of advertising, public relations, and even sales efforts, commissions and bonuses, to buy customers. If you buy customers in a cost-efficient way so that you earn more profit from the customers than it takes you to get them in the first place, you continue to grow and expand. This being said, what are the marketing methods that you use that are the most cost-efficient in attracting qualified prospects? Some years ago, I advertised my business in 6 magazines, but I carefully evaluated exactly the number of customers I acquired from each magazine. I soon found that one magazine was contributing more than 80% of my new customers. The other magazines may have been generating more leads, but few of those leads ever converted into paying customers. So I therefore dropped my advertisements in 5 of the publications and doubled my advertising in the one that was working the best. My sales doubled as well, and my cost of acquisition dropped by 2/3, and all that was profit. It's very important that you carefully evaluate the results of every advertising dollar in terms of exactly the level of sales generated and the amount of profits you earn in your customer buying activities. Now, number 5, what are your core selling methods? What is it that you and your salespeople do to convert the very largest number of leads into actual paying customers? Sometimes it is only one specific benefit presented in a specific way that is most persuasive in getting people to buy from you. By changing your method of sales and your selling message, you can often double and triple the number of sales you make to the same number of qualified leads. But this cannot be left to chance. Number 6, who are your core people in your business? Who are the most valuable people in your organization? When you apply the 80-20 rule to your staff, your salespeople, your managers, and everyone else, who are the 20% who are the most important to the successful operation of your business? Put it another way, who would you hate most to lose? Who would cost you the greatest inconvenience, if not cost, if they were to decide to go somewhere else? In my company, I use a method of what I call preemptive increases on my staff. If I realize that I have a valuable staff member, I raise their pay without them asking, just to assure that they don't go anywhere else. You've heard it said that 85% of the value of your company walks out the door each day at 5 p.m. Each of your staff members has a certain amount of intellectual capital that they have developed working for you. This intellectual capital includes their knowledge of how your company works, their knowledge of how to do their job within your company, and their knowledge of external people, customers, and markets. This knowledge is hard to duplicate and takes a long time. This is why it's often a better idea to pay a person more money than to have them walk away with all this intellectual capital that is so hard and so expensive to replace. So who are your core people? Question number 7 is, what are your core strengths as a business? What is it that your business does especially well with regard to the production and sales of your products and services, and the way you treat your customers? Sometimes it can take you many years to develop a core strength, and you're not even aware of it. If you were to ask people outside your business about your core strengths, what would they say? Especially, what could you do to preserve and maintain and grow these core strengths? They are the foundation of your business. Now, what are your core talents and abilities as an individual? What is it that you personally are very good at? Remember, you're where you are and what you are in life today because you're very good at a few things. What are they? Most of all, what special skills, abilities, and strengths will you have to have in the future the way the market is going today? What skills will you have to develop? What courses will you have to take? What books will you have to read? You've got to know the answers to these questions if you want to lead the field in the future. Number 8, your most valuable asset. Your earning ability, your ability to get results for which people will pay you, is your most valuable financial asset. But your earning ability can be an appreciating asset or a depreciating asset. If it's an appreciating asset, it is growing in value each year. This means that you are increasingly better at getting results, month by month and year by year. If your earning ability is not an appreciating asset, it automatically becomes a depreciating asset. This means that you become worth less and less as the month and years pass. Don't let this happen to you. Number 9, what are the major threats to your business today? What are the worst possible things that could happen in terms of customers, markets, finances, and competitive responses? Whatever they are, what steps could you take immediately to avoid them should they occur? The very best managers engage in what is called crisis anticipation. They look down the road 1 or 2 years into the future and they ask, what could possibly go wrong? What you do then is you take every action you possibly can just in case you suffer a major reverse. You anticipate the crisis in advance and prepare against it. This is the mark of superior thinking. Number 10, the final question is, what are your very best opportunities for the future? What are the new products, new services, new customers, or new markets that you could enter into starting today that have tremendous potential for the future? What could you do to take advantage of those opportunities? Michael Cammey, the strategic planner, said, "Those who do not plan for the future cannot have one." The way that you survive and thrive in today's market is that you continuously focus and concentrate on the core, on those areas where the best results are possible in your business and personal life. Now let's put these ideas into effect. Here are some exercises. Number 1, what are the 3 most important competencies or abilities possessed by your business? Number 2 is, what are your 3 most important products and services in terms of sales and profitability? Number 3, who are your core customers, the ones who buy the most and are the most satisfied? Number 4, what are your core marketing methods, the methods that attract the greatest number of qualified leads? Number 5 is, what are your core selling methods or techniques, the ones that enable you to convert the greatest number of leads into customers? Number 6, who are your core people, the most valuable and difficult to replace in your business? Number 7, what are your core strengths as a business, those areas where you are superior to your competitors? Number 8, what are your core talents and abilities as an individual? Number 9, what are the 3 worst things that could happen to your business today? Number 10, what are your 3 best opportunities for the future of your business? And finally, your action commitment. What one action are you going to take immediately as a result of your answers to these questions?